That shit's steep. I don't know what to say.
Here in Phoenix, Arizona, we do not have a self-quarantine order. Currently, we're not on complete lockdown. I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen here in the near future. So I wanted to share with you guys my plans for how I'm going to keep running and staying in shape. I personally have two options. So I was fortunate enough to, I guess, get ahead of the curve on both accounts. I have a treadmill. It's an incline trainer, so it can go to some steep grades. And I also built a trail in my backyard. I'm gonna take you guys on a tour of both of those, but I first wanted to go through some comments that I got where I asked people, how is everything affecting you right now? Are you able to run? What's going on in your part of the world? And I thought I would share some of these responses because I thought they were very interesting. It seems like around the world, there are so many different takes on what's going on. Governments are responding in different ways at local, regional, state, country-wide levels. So many of us may not know, well, what's going on in Italy with running right now, or what's happening in the UK or Ireland. You know, how are people in Boulder, Colorado faring? Are they able to run outside? I'll start here in Arizona. They're starting to close down some of our national forest trailheads. They've begun rolling those out starting on Monday this week. A lot of our regional parks are still open. And I'll tell you what, this is Wednesday. This weekend, everything was packed. There's no bars are open. There are no gyms open. A lot of people are taking time off from work. So there's basically a ton of people that are looking for something to do with beautiful weather. People are going outside and it's crowded, which by all means is not a recommendation for right now. So it would be great if everyone can give their distance and really do their part here. Anyways, let's get to these comments. So Rachel Grimes says, here in the UK, tighter restrictions were introduced today, so that was 2 days ago. You're permitted to exercise once a day alone or with family members. If that gets stopped, she's fully prepared to see how far she can run in her garden, she says. She has about a 25-meter out and back, and I think that's what a lot of people are doing right now. I've seen people running on their rooftops. My friend Amy Sproston in Jordan, she's running on her rooftop because she can't leave her home, like can't even step outside. Fortunately, she does have a roof. Other people are literally on their balconies or in their living rooms running back and forth. We heard these stories from China and it sounded like the strangest thing ever. That could be all of our realities soon. Let's go to another one. This is from Ryan Nevius. He says, he's in Italy, so this is an epicenter. They can no longer leave their homes. The fine is 5,000 euros if you're caught more than 200 meters from your front door. He's using a 70-meter driveway to do repeats in Cortina. And that's the site of Lavaredo, which was just canceled. It's very weird to be in such an environment and not be able to leave home. Man, could you imagine that? Having all those beautiful mountains out there and you're stuck to your driveway. Thanks for sharing. Randy Cufaro is in San Francisco Bay Area, and he says they're about to close all the trails in the East Bay. I think they've already closed all those in Marin. This was 2 days ago. I usually hit the trails between 6 and 7 a.m. Seeing people's a rarity. It's going to suck if I'm unable to hit the trails. They are saying that at the rate of the new virus, cases will be up to 60% of the whole state. So, sobering stuff. Brendan Bennett reports that the mayor of Manitou Springs closed the incline last week. Brian Detweiler from Omaha, Nebraska says it's a great time for every single street projects, so he's staying local, and he says he's done every single street 40 miles of Carter Lake, Iowa. Mars Hikes from Switzerland says running outside is even encouraged by the authorities, of course with social distancing. No general curfew, but you can run as far as you're able to. The use of public transport is a no-go. We've got Leszek Nowak from Poland. Running in national parks once a week. Parking lots are full of cars. Never seen so many cars before. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm seeing here in Phoenix as well. We're seeing more people than ever hitting the trails, which would normally be an awesome thing, but not really right now. I saw there was a video of people on Camelback Mountain, which is one of the most popular hikes here in Phoenix. there's a railing halfway up going up a steep section, and people are just sliding up and down this thing, and it's just got to be a hot point for transmission. It's pretty unbelievable, actually. So Eric Heim, he is from Germany. He says he just started running and is doing a lot of the miles on the treadmill. In Germany, there's regulations for each state, and where he lives, you're only allowed to be outside with one other person or within your core family. Trails are often so crowded, it's hard to keep the necessary distance. We've got Masha Perskaya from Spain. So actually, this is interesting, was stopped and fined €600 by a police brigade running back home in a park at 8 a.m., 1 kilometer from home. And they're telling Masha that sport is prohibited. So it has no treadmill, no terrace, tiny apartment. After 3 years of injury, finally able to run, and it seems the world is injured. That's tough right there. Jeff Holbrook reports still have access to the trails for now in upstate New York, and trails are seeing a lot of use these days. Also, a comment to that from Nathan Brame. Trails in Oregon are banned. Even open spaces are now off limits. Seems like the walls are closing in pretty much everywhere. I can start to feel it even in Phoenix, where I'm from. And we've got a report here from Mitchell McLaughlin from Chico, California. While we're technically on shelter-in-place order, people are not taking it seriously. We're still allowed to recreate outdoors, but presumably that means alone. People are instead using the outdoors as an excuse to meet up with their mates, which is not what the order intends. Nobody seems to mind the 6-foot rule either. Just looking at the numbers and the way people are behaving, I think we'll be in a world of hurt in just a week or two. Nonetheless, it's fantastic that we can still recreate outdoors. Let's not abuse this privilege. Cool. So yeah, I just wanted to share a few stories that I got directly from people all over the world. Maybe that can give everyone some perspective on if you're not really feeling effects in your area, that we should be mindful and that might be coming to your area. So anyways, let's get on and take a peek over at my backyard trail.
All right, so here we are. We're leaving the back porch. We've got a nice little staircase here. It's a bit eroded away, but for me as a trail runner, it's really not that big of a deal. The actual path here is quite overgrown, so before I do any running on this, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of work. I'm gonna have to prep the surface, probably get rid of some of these weeds and just everything that's grown up over the spring so far, because the trail kind of disappears over here. All right, so there is actually a dry wash that runs through the backyard here. If it rains hard enough, it actually will flood. So I guess if there's a rain delay, we won't be able to use this. So someone poured concrete here, a previous homeowner maybe, and we had to bust up some of this with some sledgehammers. It's not quite totally done, but we put a lot of miles on here already. All right, let's go check out the back part of the course. This part of the trail has a couple tight turns, so we can see just right over here is the other part, but we do a nice loop on the back side here. We've also got these really cool shade trees back here. I think they're called salt cedars, and they provide some nice shade, and they even drop some of their needles on the ground, so it's kind of a nice cushy surface, very different from the rocky wash down below. By the time you guys see the next video, we're gonna do a lot of work on this thing. We're gonna clean up the track and get it primed for running. So in case we get that quarantine call, we'll be ready to train and hit the loop hard. Heading back down to make our second crossing of the creek, and then we're gonna head towards the front yard. Can't believe how overgrown this section of the trail is. You can barely even see where to go. We're also gonna have to do some tree trimming. This stuff is gonna be in the way. Yeah, we must have had a crazy windstorm because we've got a huge piece of this Palo Verde tree that fell down and it's kind of overhanging on the trail. We're gonna have to get that cleared up as well. So we're heading around the east side of the home right now and towards our front driveway. We're doing a quick little loop around the shed over here, and it'll get interesting over by the carport. I think what we want to showcase with this loop is that you can be creative, you can come up with something. Your loop might be shorter than mine, but it can give you an option to get out there and give yourself a little bit of sanity. We got some nice green grass growing right here. This looks great over here. We're gonna join the driveway and take an abrupt left turn into the carport. Okay, welcome to the narrowest section of the trail. When we were having our backyard races here, this was definitely the tightest spot. It's basically single file only, really only as wide as one runner. So, but you do what you gotta do with what you got, so. And we are right back where we started here on the back patio. So that is the basic tour of my backyard loop. We've got 238 meters to work with, and let's see what kind of fun we can have with this. I'm gonna go ahead and do a 1 mile time trial. I want you guys to comment below, guess what my mile time's gonna be if you wanna see it in the next video. Now, this is my second option. I've actually got a treadmill here. It's a Nordic Track incline treadmill, so it can go from -6%, so a 6% downhill grade, all the way up to a 40% grade, maxing that thing out. I think that's about as high as any treadmill out on the market will go. I've been using this thing a bit in my training. I'm really looking forward to seeing what it can do and seeing how I can push myself on this. Now, as you can see, my setup is a little bare right now. I've just got it against a corner here. Now, the Nordic Track itself does have some workouts on the screen, so you can, if you go and tap it here, you can see there's all kinds of workouts of different trainers that can take you through. I'm working on right now, kind of beefing up my setup a little bit, making it a little more interesting. I'm gonna mount a TV up on the wall here. So I'm gonna have a nice big screen. I can watch YouTube videos, I can watch movies. I'm also gonna get on Zwift. So I just picked this up. It's the Zwift Run Pod. I've never used it before, but Zwift is an online social community for runners. They also have cyclists as well. Stay tuned for more videos on this, how to set it up, how to get on Zwift, and hopefully we can run together virtually. All right, I'm gonna hop on the treadmill, get this thing started, show you guys what it can do. Over here on the right side, I can control my speed. So anywhere from 1 mile per hour all the way up to 12 miles per hour. So 12 miles per hour would be a 5-minute per mile pace. This is the incline grade. So I can either adjust it right down here with these up and down arrows, or I can just hit a specific number. So this would be 20% grade, 40% grade, maxing it out. The other features about this one, I've got a fan right in here on the front, and it's also got some Bluetooth audio with it, so I can put on a podcast or listen to some tunes. Let's go ahead and crank this thing up to 40. I can show you guys what it looks like. I can feel it already. It's been a little while since I've been on this guy. Now, oftentimes when I'm at the full 40%, I'm really going hands on knees, trying not to hold on to the bars here. I think some people view that as cheating on a treadmill, but sometimes it's necessary. I'm gonna crank this up a little bit more. And you can kind of see how this is a relentless grade here at 40%. All right, I'm gonna bring this down a little bit, and then I'm also gonna get the speed up a little bit more so I can get more of a running motion, show you guys what that's like. All right, so now we're running at a 15% incline at 4 miles per hour. So that's about a 15-minute per mile pace. This is probably something I could maintain for quite some time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and got something out of today's video. My treadmill space will continue to evolve, so I'm looking forward to giving you an update as it progresses. I'm also gonna do a 1 mile time trial on this treadmill. If you guys wanna see me take on that 1 mile challenge at 40% treadmill grade, go ahead and drop a like on this video. If we get 5,000 likes, I'm gonna do this 1 mile time trial at the full 40% grade. If you guys make me do that 40%, I seriously might die. But I really hope you guys can pull through and do it, because I think it'd be hilarious.
I guess going forward, I hope I can make some interesting content through this time. If we do have a shelter-in-place order here in Arizona, it might be coming soon as things progress, but hopefully I can still make some fun stuff. Anyways, thanks for checking this video out, guys. See you in the next one.